Hey Jay, here's a quick practice video for you. These are really not musical exercises, but it's like I said in class, sending your fingers to the gym. This little silly exercise is literally the most important thing that you could be doing right now. Okay, second only to knowing the notes. So let's go over that first. There are 6 strings and each one has a name, right? The fattest one and the skinniest one are both E's. The names of the strings is the tone that they make when you're not holding them down. So when I strum them without holding them down, one at a time from the fat one down, I get E, A, D, G, B, and another E. Now, we've already gone over the rules for the notes, which I'll go over again, but I'm going to give you a trick on how to keep track of how these notes are by just learning the ones on the first 2 strings. Okay, what I mean by that is if you learn the notes on the first 2 strings, I have a trick for you on how to learn the notes on these other strings based on the first 2. All right, so first, names of the strings over here: E, A, D, G, B, E. Okay, so the first fret on the E string is going to be an E note plus 1. The first fret on the A string will be an A note plus 1. D note plus 1, and so on as you go up the fretboard. All right, so we have 12 notes. Every note has a sharp except for B and E. So you'll never say B sharp and you'll never say E sharp. You'll just go on to the first letter, the next letter of the alphabet. So if I start with the first fattest string, which is E, and E doesn't have a sharp, the note at the first fret must be F, which has a sharp, so the note at the second fret is F sharp, which brings us to G, which has a sharp, G sharp. That's the last musical letter, so we're back to the beginning at A, which has a sharp, so we go to A sharp, and then B, which doesn't have a sharp, which brings us to C, and C sharp, and D sharp, and at the 12th fret, we're back to E. Same thing can be done with any other string. A string is the second string. So we have A open. A plus 1 at the first fret is A sharp. Then B, which doesn't have a sharp, right to C. C sharp, D, D sharp, E, doesn't have a sharp, F, F sharp, G sharp, back to A, 12th fret. Same as the open note. We know we've done it right. So that's how you know notes anywhere on the fretboard. You can start with the name of the string here and then count your way forward. After a while, you want to learn where other notes are so you don't have to keep counting, right? The note at the 3rd fret is G. The note at the 5th fret is A. The note at the 7th fret is B. That spells out gab, which at least helps you remember G, A, B. So if you want an A sharp on the fat string and you know the word gab, then here's A of gab, so this must be A sharp, and it is. All right, so that's a quick way to learn the notes. Now here's the thing about learning notes on these strings. As long as you are on the D string or the B string, the D string or the G string, the middle 2 strings of the guitar, whatever note you're holding down is going to be the same note as it is. Think of 2 and 2, meaning 2 frets back and 2 strings up. So this note is the same as this note. And the same thing works with the A string and the G string. This note is the same as this note. So when I'm on this string, I go back 2 and up 2, and I'm on the same note. Okay, so watch how this would work. I start on the fat E string, and let's say I want to find A. So I go E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. Now I'm on A. If I go down 2 strings, 1, 2, and forward 1, 2, I'll be at A again. A, A. Now if I do a note on the A string, A open, A sharp, B, C, now I'm on a C. If I go down 2 and forward 2, I'll be at C. And if I was on this C first, and I went back 2 and up 2, I'll be at C. And that moves in relativity. On the first on the first and third string as well. So you can see how this will work to process of elimination, help you learn notes. If you master the notes on the first 2 strings, right? Say from open to the 7th fret, and then from those notes go down 2 and forward 2, you'll learn them again. Here they are, and here they are. All right, so hopefully that makes sense for learning notes. In my opinion, it's a little difficult at first, but you should try to learn like the first 7 frets of the first 2 strings. And I've already told you gab, so that makes things a little easier for you. Okay? All right, on to the exercise. The exercise is easy in theory, but hard in the details. And you want to be detailed as a guitarist. You do not want fatiguing, harsh sounds. You want precise and precision. Okay? So I'm going to go to the A of gab. G, A, 5th fret, E string. After I get that finger down, I'm going to line up the other 3 fingers. And you see how there's a nice curl of each finger? That's what you want. If you see your knuckles start to go flat like that, then stop what you're doing because you're wasting your time. Okay? They've got to be curled in an arch. Your thumb is straight up and down somewhere in the background, like the 50-yard line of these 2 fingers, so that you're simply gripping the guitar in your hand between those notes. You want to do this exercise as slowly as possible to get the biggest and best results. Okay? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to play the A note with your pointer finger and these 3 fingers as slightly off the strings as you can. I'm showing you I'm moving my fingers to show you the string. Don't do it. Yours is just going to be hovering over, okay? Mine are so close they look like they're on, but they're not. This is just my pointer finger. Now I keep that pointer finger down and I add my middle finger on the next fret. And I keep those both down and I add my 3rd finger. And with all 3 of those down, I add my 4th finger. And my knuckles are still curved. I'm not pulling down on the string like this. I'm pressing it flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. You may hear sounds that sound like this. Like that, or like that, or like that. That just means you're not pressing it down right behind the fret in the sweet spot. So just find that sweet spot. The guitar you're using, mine is old anyway and it needs new strings. So don't kill yourself over, you're not going to get the best sound, okay? But I'll put new strings on that. So here's me pretending to be you doing this exercise in front of the TV or something. Here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not pulling down, not letting my knuckles flatten. Then I go to the next string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Next string. Nice and straight, all my fingers curled. I move my thumb up and down depending on what's most comfortable. Your thumb will probably go up a little as you get down to these skinnier strings, so that your hand's not up like this, right? Keep it curled and in front. Last string. That's it. That's all you have to do between now and the next time I see you to be as far along as you should be. Notes on the first 2 strings. Use the 2 down, 2 up trick to relearn the note. G, down, down, forward, forward. G. C, down, down, forward, forward. C. G, G. Okay, so you learn them on the first 2 strings, Then you do the down, down, forward, forward to learn them on the next 2 strings. Do this exercise nowhere near as quickly as I'm doing it. I'm just showing you. Clean notes. Every note is the same volume. Every note is played. See the line on the end of my fingers? That's where you play the notes. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you soon.